Start recording everything, Gil.
You look like a silly Billy right now.
Well, I'm just being a little bit silly.
No. I really need you to take that bandana off.
I really like it.
I love how you attack me for the bandana, but not for the guy in the other top corner wearing those glasses.
Oh, always shifting the
Too.
focus,
Because
Gills?
you almost got away with that. You
Wait a
almost got away
second.
with
What's
that.
up,
Bobby.
Cyberpunk?
Bobby, did you...
Hey, Cyberpunk's in
What's up,
town.
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Wait, now that I think about it, did you steal George's look?
That's it. Oh my God! You
Oh,
actually
this
took
is
his
not
idea.
going to be a good
Wait,
one now.
Oh, I thought that could be a good one now. Fucking.
Three, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's Bobby.
Wow, somebody's in a good mood. His name is Gilbert. He's got a flat face. He's got a flat face. Flat.
Macaroni.
Yeah. Andrew Santino is calling me going, can I do an Asian accent anymore? I don't know if you can. I said, go ahead. I give you the green light.
Yeah, the pass.
Asian accented up. Welcome to another episode of the TB. It's not a disease. It's your friendly neighborhood podcast.
Speaking of tuberculosis, they're doing this small study with people in third world countries who receive the BCG shot, which we get
which
it.
is my favorite Korean pop group, by the way.
Fantastic songs.
But they're saying that there might be a link between those who received, like me. You know how we always get that little keloided thing on our arm here? And it's the BCG shot that we got in the fucking 80s in the Philippines. And there could be a link between that and some type of like immunity to corona. But they don't know yet. They're still doing
I was
the study.
worried about where that was going. I was scared we were going to go on an anti-vaxxer rant right now.
No.
Oh, no.
No, Cyberpunk. We're not doing that.
Cyberpunk, no way.
Oh, I didn't know that we're in the year 2055, brother.
Hey, remember the movie Demolition Man?
Oh, I love that movie.
Is that George?
Yeah, that's Demolition Man. That's Sylvester Stallone, correct?
Stallone, yes.
Yeah, and Sandra
Yeah.
Bullock.
And Sandra
And
Bullock.
Wesley Snipes.
Was
he in it?
Was Rob Schneider in that one?
I don't remember
Rob
him.
Schneider was in
I
Demolition
think
Man?
no. Rob Schneider did do a Sylvester Stallone movie. I just did a wet fart just now. So
heard
hey,
that.
yeah, I just did one. Sorry, my bad.
There's only one line I remember from Demolition Man when they're going through, like, I think it's like a marketplace or something like that. And they ordered food and they say, "What is that?" And the lady was like, she goes something about carne de rata, like rat meat.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh,
Yeah,
I'll
Rob
remember
Schneider
that
was
line.
in it. Correct, sir.
He
You win.
was?
Thank you.
Whoa. You win.
I want to address a couple of things before we begin, if I
I'm
may.
gonna look at Rob Schneider on there.
Thank you so much for the support from. I think it was last week's episode. Was that the one?
Demolition Man.
Last week's episode. It was a wild ride, baby.
This is a wild ride.
Wild ride.
Wild ride.
I know that we got a lot of positive emails, and I appreciate those emails. We also got a lot of negative ones. We got a lot of hate as well. Yeah, and I think that Khalyla got the brunt of it. You know, Khalyla got a lot of really nasty comments, not just on her social media, but on family and friends' social media. I've had people call me and go, "What the fuck happened?" and whatnot. And there's a section of TigerBelly fans that don't agree with what we said last week, and they spewed a lot of hatred toward my girlfriend. And I just have a message for you. It's a dear message from my heart, and I love you, and nosotros papaya to you, and I hope you have a big life.
Yum, yum.
A fulfilled life, and I hope you have love and happiness down the road. Please don't listen anymore. Don't listen anymore to us. If you don't like what we have to say and you don't agree with us, you don't have to rip us apart. Yeah, I'm saying this in a mindful, very authentic way. I love you. and I wish you a lot of joy and happiness.
It sounds passive aggressive, babe.
Is it?
Yeah, your smile is scaring me a little bit.
I want to kiss your eyeballs.
Ah!
If I saw you on the street, I'll kiss your eyeball like that.
And Corona. Yeah.
Well, no, not Corona. Corona free.
Corona-free eyeball kissing.
Yeah, I'll give you a side hug. You're not full frontal, but side, and go. Good luck, buddy.
The ass out
Right.
hug.
But yeah, if you're gonna just say vile fucking things and you think that we're weak because of our position, then I honestly, there have been discussions, vague ones, about should we even stop doing this because it just got kind of out of control, and I just I didn't start this podcast to go to war with people. I did it because I like having fun and playing around, and I like talking with my friends. And this is just a medium that I've always enjoyed. I've enjoyed doing the radio shows on the road. I've enjoyed friendly, light banter, and I like being silly Billy because Papa's silly Billy.
But I think that's what's the problem, right? Is that because we are always so silly on here, and last week wasn't silly, so
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, man.
Hey, all right.
I don't give a shit. All right. We said what we said because we believe what we said. All right.
Did we misspeak?
We did
Probably.
misspeak. No, we did. I don't think we did.
No, I mean, if you look at it from, that's the thing, anything that you say in the moment without letting time pass, there's a good chance that it will not age well. You can look at everything I said and still pick it apart. I can look at things I said and pick it apart and say, you know what, I should have said this way. This is actually what I meant. I should have written it down, been more eloquent. I should have taken the time and, to do all of that. Yeah, I think that's the problem about speaking about things as they're happening is you don't have full agency yet of your feelings or thoughts because it feels like one scrambled thing up there. But with that said, I could have said a lot of things better, but I'm not going to walk back how I felt.
Don't walk back, baby.
Oh, that smile.
Don't walk back. All right, so last night, heavy. So last night, my brother, he expressed the kind of love for me that I've never felt before in my life. So last night, my brother and I, we logged onto Warzone, and we did duos, and we got to the final circle, and I killed 4 guys in a row, and my brother said, Bob, I've never been so proud of you in my life.
Wow.
He goes, I love you so. He was crying. He goes, I love you so much. All right? You're doing it, man. You're doing it. Right? And now shut the fuck up. Because I'm in it.
You don't like that. You don't like
I don't
talking
like it.
during it. You don't like
No,
talking
I
during the
shut
final
the fuck
circle.
up. I had to concentrate because, you're the finals, the final circle.
Final circle. It's small.
Right? The smoke's coming in, right? My gas mask breaks. Yeah. Right? Breaks, right? And then, I have 3 bullets, right? And a bazooka, 1 missile. And I'm going around and
Wait, I have a question. When you are in your final circle, let's say your brother's telling you all of that, is he, when you're in the gulag, can you still see what your teammates
Khalyla
are
knows.
doing?
Yes.
So you can see what your teammates are
If
doing.
my brother's dead, what it does is your screen switches on to my point of view.
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah.
my brother's not playing anymore, so now he's watching me play.
Spectator.
So he's seeing what I'm seeing, right?
That's emotional.
So it's emotional, yeah. So he's watching every move, all the things. So a lot of times it's like, what are you doing? You mean, don't hide underneath that dumpster or whatever it might be. Oh, sorry, Remy. But this time it was in tears. I've never seen him like this. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. What are you, Rambo? He kept saying, Rambo, you're Rambo. And I go, I'm not Rambo. And obviously we got 3rd place.
Very good for duos.
But you've played with me before on that
Yeah,
game.
we've
a
won
lot.
one.
We won
Twice.
one yesterday. We won a couple days ago. We won.
Yeah.
And I get what? 1 kill,
2 kills.
maybe 1 or 2 kills, right? But to do 6, right, and get to that final circle was a big achievement because for the first 50 games I played, and each game takes about, 30 minutes sometimes in 45 minutes,
Yeah.
right? I'll get 1 kill, but my kill death ratio is 0 because I've died twice as more than I've killed. But in the last week or two, I'm now beginning to offset that ratio because I'm now figuring it out. But
KD, yeah.
it was a really good brotherly bonding experience last night, and it's the only time I get to hang out with my brother. So it is. And he makes me laugh. Does he not make you laugh?
He's very funny.
He's very cowardly.
He's very.
In the guy.
Bob, should we just stay in the basement? But then you support it.
I know I support it. So what my brother likes to do is he likes to go, okay, I see this house here. Let's just hang out in the basement all game. Mm-hmm. And you're like, yeah, but we want to go out and kill people. No, they'll come to us. So we'll sit there for 30 minutes. Sometimes we'll spray paint because you can spray paint in the game. We'll spray paint
Wait, what are you spray painting?
You can spray paint like little pictures and different things.
I also had another question about the game when you're ready.
And then so my brother, okay, so guys, we'll just sit here and we just sit there and we'll spray paint each other for like 20 solid minutes, nothing going on.
No shooting.
Right?
Well, that's a bonding experience.
Yeah, but then he'll go, "But I hear footsteps," and then we'll get on our bellies and get ready. You know what I mean? But that's the way my brother likes to play. What I beginning to do is go, all right, let's go get after them.
Oh,
Right?
you have been playing more aggressive. It's very
I'm
shocking.
more aggressive now.
Very aggressive.
Am I not?
You are.
Wait, but isn't the first to the fight the bloodiest? First one to the fight is the
I
bloodiest,
think in any
right?
war, yeah. That actually sounds legit what you just said.
Right, but before, right? So you have this map. What I would do is, okay, guys, let's go to the very edge of the map where no one's gonna be, right? But now I'm going, or let's land where everyone else is landing, right? And Gilbert, I have to say, you're very good at the game.
You too, sir.
I've
won twice with you. You too, sir.
Thank you.
Now, my question is, I know that you've spent some money on your outfits.
$800, baby.
Oh, in
Nope.
real
No,
money?
You didn't.
Yeah,
no,
baby.
you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Oh yeah,
No, you
cut
didn't.
that out.
You
Bleep
didn't
that
at
part.
all.
Bleep that part out.
No, you've only
Wait,
spent
wait.
$8.
$8.
$8, baby.
Okay, so would you say that a change, and how many outfits does that buy? I wanna know.
It's not outfits. So what you buy is you buy looks. So there's 16 characters, but each character has a different clothing apparatus.
Okay, so my question was, is it a morale boost? And when you put on a new look, do you feel like you play better?
No, but I play through the character. See, my brother just doesn't have really doesn't care about his look. So he just the game just generates a certain look for him. So one game he's just like a standard white soldier.
Yeah.
Right, but for me, the girl I play, has
shop on Melrose.
Nike yoga pants. She does, right?
Yeah.
She has
She
Nike
really
shoes.
does.
She does. She has a hat. She's got, I want him to look good. I have another guy that looks like Sacha Baron Cohen. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. The
Where
Muslim guy, yeah.
He's got a red beautiful turban and scarves. I like the scarves.
You have the black lumberjack.
I have the black lumberjack.
Lumberjack,
Yeah,
very-
that's cool.
Wait,
Yeah,
with a
vintage.
cutoff? Is it? Do you have like cutoff flannel?
No, I think
No,
it's
no.
full.
It's full flannel.
Red
It's
flannel.
full flannel.
But he's got a beanie.
Oh, you're right. Cutoff flannel is more punk.
Yeah, he looks real nice. And if I'm gonna die, I want to die looking good.
That's it.
I think it also, like my brother, in terms of fashion, like sometimes we'll go to a nice store, like a shoe store, and get something nice. I got a little extra money. You want a shoe? He goes, no, Bob, I like the shoes that I have, which is, he always loves brown skater shoes. And they just look standard brown.
If
hey,
I couldn't think of a pair of brothers more dissimilar than you and Steve. He is so meticulous in the way that he lives. Like, it's borderline OCD. Like, even though he keeps a lot of things in a small space, everything is neatly placed. Everything has its space. He only has, like, he knows what he's going to wear for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's all laid out in front of him. And he's just very not wasteful. Like, he will eat whatever is in his fridge and he will eat the leftovers. It was like they were raised by two completely different people, two completely different families, nowhere near each other.
Yeah. Like if a bagel's been in the fridge for 3 days, you know what I mean? I'll touch it and go, it's stale.
It's a problem that we've been having in this house because like he does not eat any leftovers at all. Like he just doesn't think that he gets it in his head, but then
I'll be passive aggressive too. Like we'll be she'll cook something up, right? And I'll know deep in my heart that the rice seems old.
It's not old rice.
I know, but not fresh, right? Just hear me out. And I'll say something like, I want to say, this is what I want. I want to say, is this used rice that's been in the fridge? But that's not how it comes out. It comes out weird. It comes out, this rice is interesting. It tastes very interesting. Where'd you get it from?
And Khalyla, you know what that means, right? When you hear that,
Oh, immediately, like I like walk out of the dining room.
she gets to rage
because he doesn't understand that fried rice is best with older rice because it's a little drier. Rice. Yeah, you cannot make garlic rice unless it's cooled. You can't make it with the hot rice out of the rice cooker. It's too sticky. So you gotta wait it out a bit. I promise you, it's better that way. Or like day-old spaghetti, the best.
My parents were like this. If you didn't finish your cereal, they would, I've said this before, they would pour the cereal back into the box with the milk in it.
Like all soggy?
Yeah.
That's very good.
So the next day, right? Next day, like if you didn't finish your meal, right? Like I went, I'm full. I'll tell you a story. I was at Hamburger Hamlet once.
What's that?
Hamburger Hamlet is what used to be my favorite hamburger restaurant in LA.
Hamburger Hamlet.
It's called Hamburger Hamlet. And I remember first moving to LA and it was kind of pricey, but I remember getting like a Comedy Store check and I'm like, I'm going to splurge on Hamburger Hamlet because it was a sit down kind of fine dining hamburger place. Mm-hmm. And I remember one time I saw David Spade there and I bragged. I ate by David's. I called people from back home. I ate with David Spade. You know what I mean? At a restaurant, whatever. So I remember sitting there at Hamburger Hamlet once. And there was a rich father. He probably was an agent because I think APA, the agency, was in that building, right? And I remember he was with his son. His son must have been 8 years old. And I was like a table away. And the kid goes, he didn't even touch his hamburger. And his dad goes, Timmy, finish your hamburger. You don't like it? No, Timmy said. And his dad goes, well, what do you want to eat? And Timmy goes, I want spaghettis. And Timmy and the dad goes, okay, well, when we get home, we'll have mom make a spaghetti for you. Mm-hmm. And they left the restaurant. The hamburger was still sitting there, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember thinking to myself, if I did that to my dad, you know what I mean? I want spaghettis. My dad would go, okay, you'll have spaghetti, but you're going to finish that hamburger. And now, if I didn't eat that hamburger there, we would have taken home. And if that night I didn't eat that hamburger, the next meal is that hamburger.
Makes sense.
Right? I could spend 5 days and not eat that hamburger. Whatever I put in my body has to be that hamburger.
Well, you better eat it the first night then.
And that's how my parents were. Right? Yeah. They were very frugal with food.
I don't think it's also frugality. It's like, it's honestly, it pains me when I see large portions of food being thrown and kind of just disregarded because number one, an animal has died, right?
I understand.
It's just wasteful, like all those resources that it takes to make bread, that it takes to fucking harvest your avocado, how much water goes into that, like all of that.
Can you understand my justification though? That thinks because the argument of the animal's dead, right? I know it's dead, and the animal died, but if that hamburger was already in the restaurant in the freezer or whatever it might be, I kill no cow.
You're not getting it.
I know, but that's my thinking. I understand that.
I understand the thinking.
Yeah, I understand the thinking. But this is my justification. I don't kill no cow.
Now I understand it in a different way.
Yeah.
I understand it as you probably hated those experiences with your parents, that you've gone the complete opposite way, not because you don't care about an animal or you don't care about being wasteful, but because you just don't care to have similar experiences because they might have been traumatic to you at some point.
Another thing is I remember back in the day, we had video game consoles as kids, right? They're not as sophisticated, but my parents would never buy me one. Hey, Dad, can I get a Sega or whatever it might be been back then? No, do your homework.
No
Right?
Sonic.
Yeah, that's what I grew up with. I couldn't get. The only thing that I could get is I had a Blockbuster membership, and on the weekends, my parents allowed me to go and rent 2 or 3 movies.
Oh, damn,
You
that's
know,
cool.
so that's where I saw Taxi Driver, whatever I consumed back then. You know,
I think that's why I never got into like gaming. We just had Donkey Kong and Tetris, and it was on a Game Boy that was like a fucking third-hand Game Boy that we got from like a cousin of a cousin, and we all had to rotate it around the family, like who got the Game Boy that night.
Yeah,
And that went on until like my adulthood. Like I was never gifted a game console. Like never once. Never. I didn't even have a computer I didn't have my own computer until I was my third year of college, I think. So I
Whoa,
was
not
like
in
already
high
20.
school.
I didn't have a computer in high
Oh.
school, so what I would do was if I knew someone with a computer, whether it was my neighbor or like a family friend, I would have them print out stuff for me, and then they would either drive it over because we didn't have a car, or I would take the bus there and then take it at night and then turn my stuff in if it had to be, or I would go to the library. So it wasn't available to us. I also went to Blair High School, and we didn't have just available computers for students at that time.
Hey, guys, sorry to interrupt, but we want to share this amazing sponsor with you.
we love it. Hims. If you have no hair, you gotta get it.
Yeah.
Hims. Do it for your hair.
Please.
You guys, and your penis.
And your penis.
And your penis.
Yes.
You guys, Hims is one of my favorite endorsements. I really enjoy it because, a lot of men, we go through some difficulties. 66% of men start losing their hair by the age of 35. I don't know if you know that, but it's a factual event. And once you've noticed thinning hair, it can be too late at times, And a lot of times these things, it's like, do I go to a doctor? How do I do it? You get professional advice through Hims. For thins and Hims, all right?
For him, mostly
Don't be a
him,
thin
so-
hem.
Yeah.
Mostly
The
him.
best way to prevent more hair loss is to do something about it while you still have some.
Please.
Okay? Why do you guys turn to weird solutions or do nothing when they can turn to medicine and science alert, science?
Hims is helping guys be the best version of themselves with licensed physicians and FDA-approved products to help treat hair loss. No snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. Prescription solutions backed by real science.
And it helps with your penis problems. It helps with your hair loss, mentally problems.
Yep.
If you're a man,
Yep. No more awkward in-person doctor visits or long pharmacy lines.
That's right.
For Hims connects you to real doctors online, which
Yep.
could save you hours, completely confidential and discreet. Tell us more about it, Gilb.
Right now, our listeners can get started with their first month free. Go to forhims.com/belly. That's forhims.com/belly. Prescription requires an online consultation with a physician who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Offer valid only if prescribed. 3-month minimum subscription. Additional restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Remember, that's forhims.com/belly.
Blue Apron.
Oh.
The tastiest food I've ever eaten in my life. You guys, when I'm out and I come home and I see that Blue Apron box outside my front door, I get super excited because, thank you so much, Blue Apron, because you've helped the Lee Kuhn family survive the quarantine with some delicious meals. And I really enjoy it. These are meals that I could make myself, the Slept King. Even though I don't even know how to make anything, the directions are very easy. I made one of the meals. Yeah.
Home cooking matters now more than ever. With Blue Apron, you can have peace of mind by getting fresh, quality ingredients delivered straight to your door, so you can cook delicious, easy meals in the comfort of your home. Try new things, learn new skills, change up your routine. From dishes designed for a healthy lifestyle to those with specialized ingredients, you'll love how good home cooking can be. And they'll deliver the ingredients right to your door.
It also takes out the guesswork, right? It's like, a lot of times you struggle with the fact, like, what do I eat tonight? You know, when you get a Blue Apron dish, right, you're going to get a really nice restaurant quality meal.
And they have vegetarian options.
They do have vegetarians for the veggie lovers out there, baby.
Guys, don't sacrifice the flavor. Don't settle for boring meals. With Blue Apron, you can enjoy top-rated recipes all month long. Check out this week's menu and get $30 off across your first 2 deliveries when you visit blueapron.com/belly. That's blueapron.com/belly. Blue Apron, feed your soul. Enjoy the rest of the show.
And so I want to equate it back to my brother. Now, my brother, let's go back to my brother.
Yeah.
All right. And the reason why I am the way I am and my brother is the way he is. My brother takes after my dad in many ways. My father wore bright blue golf pants. He looked like Papa Smurf.
But Korean.
Yeah, every day he would wear these light blue golf pants, right? Sandals, right? And like a blue polo, like an old school blue polo. And that's all he wore.
I love that look so
I know,
much.
it's a good look. It's a very good look, and my brother and my dad also used to live. We had stores all over the country, like clothing stores. So he had one up in Sacramento. So he would drive from San Diego and spend a week in Sacramento. So he had an apartment, and he would do that every other week. So he had an apartment in Sacramento. My brother went to Sacramento one time with him, and he described to me what my dad's apartment looked like. And there was no furniture at all, right? No couch, no bed, just a stove in the corner of the room, right? And an old school Korean kind of bamboo mattressy kind of thing, a pillow and a blanket. That's all that was in that apartment, And in many ways, my brother takes after my mom is different. She'll just wake up, I want a gazebo.
Jesus.
She said that once. She woke
Gazebo?
up one day and she goes,
$5,000 gazebo?
yeah, she goes, I want gazebo and koi fish. And my dad's like, no, I want one. Right? And then next thing you know, there's people building a gazebo with a koi fish thing, right? Just because my mom had this inclination or this, she just wants it.
So that's you. That's
My mom,
Yeah.
I want the red Corvette.
Jesus.
You guys had a Corvette?
Yes.
Oh
my
my
mom
God.
drove around
God.
in a red Corvette.
Oh
I want one.
Oh
I
my
want the red
Yes.
Corvette. And she got one.
I didn't know
I
that.
have the same kind of thing, I think.
Honda Accords, Honda Civics.
You for
Toyota
sure.
Camrys.
Yeah.
You for sure take after your mom. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
So do you think that, like, when your brother speaks about your dad, he's very tender about it. Like, he has like really deep emotions for your father. Do you think that he was closer to your dad than you were?
No, but I think that my brother was too young to really fully appreciate the and oh God, this pisses me fucking off when people say this. And here I go back into the anger. All right, But I
Careful,
have
be
to-
happy.
I'm gonna be happy when I do it, right? But people go, you know what? Bobby plays the victim all the time.
Ooh, the face. That's the face.
What?
That's the face.
Hello? What? No. Nope. All right. You know what? There are things that happen to me that I can't even talk about, baby. There are things, and all the fucked up things I've said in my life, right?
That's all public, too.
I've
Stuff
sucked
like that.
dick as a
Okay.
kid. I was
Yep.
molested. My dad would be that's not even the worst part. The worst parts, I can't even say, baby. You know what I mean? It's worse than having firecrackers in your butthole and lighting them up at the same times.
That's kind of erotic.
What?
Yeah.
Who did that happen to?
So what I'm
Jules?
saying is that my brother was too young to experience, my dad's heyday back in the day, you know what I mean, when he was at the top of his abuse game. You know,
When he was killing the abuse game.
yeah.
Damn, he was one of the best.
Yeah. He was the Tom Brady of, you know what I mean,
Oh,
of abusing his family, you know.
Oh, a star, yeah.
Yeah, he was killing it back then. His stats were way up. You know, my brother, you know what I mean, grew up with my dad when his stats were, he was coming down, you know, a little bit. He was kind of like Rob Gronkowski, still, you know.
I'm gonna text your mom and
What?
about her Corvette.
I love Rob, by the way. And thanks for watching Came On, 8 p.m. CBS, sometimes, you know.
Genie.
So another thing I want to, now let's talk about what's been going on in our lives as of late.
Oh,
as
yeah.
Of late.
Hold on, I'm texting your mommy. I'm gonna ask her about her Corvette.
A red Corvette. Wow. Your
Yeah.
dad agreed to it without an argument?
Yeah.
That's wow.
Red Corvette. Red Corvette.
A red.
Okay.
Was she a fan? Was she a fan
have
of Prince?
sandals.
I don't know.
Was she a Prince fan?
No, she doesn't know who Prince is.
Khalyla, what cars did your parents have growing? What cars did you grow up with?
Oh my God, you guys!
Should be like Lamborghini.
No. This is the kind of fucking fucked up shit my dad would do. So my dad, you know, he used to work for the U.S. government.
Yep.
That's sort of how he ended up in the Philippines. There's still a lot of hazy details there regarding like what he actually did there. But he wanted to be undercover. So most of my life, we didn't have a car. We had a fake taxi cab. Did you know this?
No, you did?
Yeah,
So,
and then
taxi
well, that's
cab
the
parked
best.
in your garage.
yeah, and we had a taxi cab driver named Sidro who was always fucking drunk. I'm telling you, and he would fill the tiny sedan with diesel. Like that's how drunk he was. Sometimes be like, "Oh no, Sidro, like that's the wrong kind of gas." I remember always like having to remind him like we had to get unleaded. And that was my dad's vibe. Like he was
Interesting.
a weird fucking guy. Like my dad would come back from a fucking voyage on his shipping vessel and be like, "Hey guys, I found this monitor lizard," you know, and he kept it in like a back house. And my sister went back there when she was like 6 years old, and my sister it completely almost severed my sister's finger, and she had to get her finger almost like reattached. And we had this fucking monitor lizard that we would have to feed like chicken scraps from like our dinners every night. He built a whole home for it, and that was my dad. We had a taxi cab and a monitor lizard.
No, that's not your dad. That is your dad. But you know who else is like that?
Who?
You.
I don't. That's true.
If you
it's
saw
true.
a monitor lizard, you would probably.
No.
I
grab
wouldn't
it.
take it out of the
Guess-
wild.
Guess what new pet we have?
I hope it's not a freaking crow or something.
We have a fucking crow living with
And
us now.
That's a crow lady. You're one of those bird ladies.
I'm gonna defend myself. I'm gonna
A
defend
fucking crow, baby.
That's
Brandon
not. I'm
Lee.
gonna defend myself. I have not brought the crow in. I feel like that's fucked up.
You did propose the idea.
I didn't propose it. I would never do that.
Okay, what? False accusations.
Crows are
no,
very.
she goes. She was kind of mulling it over in her head, like.
I wasn't.
Yeah, you were like, I can't actually bring it inside. Can I? You know, like that kind of a thing.
I wanted to splint its leg. So it has a broken leg. It landed in our balcony because it's been windy around here. We have a lot of crow families here, and crow families are really, really tight knit. So if they have an injured family member, you always see them like squawking around, kind of keeping eye on that injured family member. Well, that's what happened yesterday. There was an injured crow, and I thought, okay, well, he's probably just going to shake off his leg and then go back around. Well, the injured crow is still with us. I have Jules and I have fed eggs, cat kibble,
not just eggs,
apple, bread.
not just eggs.
We've given him a bird bath.
Not just
Or
eggs.
maybe it might be a girl. And we've you made it a birdhouse.
I saw a
Bobby?
picture of that. I saw a picture.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm not opposed to the idea of living with a fucking crow.
Your face says otherwise.
I know my face. I know my face says otherwise.
So we now have a fear that this flightless crow is now just going to live in our balcony and not rejoin the family. So we've been really delicate about it. We called the wildlife rescue out here.
Oh, okay.
She boiled an egg.
crow
You
egg?
build a house.
Out of fucking cardboard that took 3 minutes. You boiled eggs. You give her like you not just fruit.
Mango.
We don't have a lot of fruit. We get fruit shipped here, like not just a red delicious apple. We get Asian apples.
Asian pears.
Yeah, you do.
I do?
Yeah, you do.
I get a CSA box from the farmer's market.
Okay, but they're like they're exotic fruits, and she does. Yeah, she does. Yes, she does. She doesn't just.
I gotta know if these are exotic fruits or not.
She doesn't throw out a peach out
They're
there.
not Asian pears.
She
is what
doesn't
you're
throw out a
asking,
peach.
Gil.
She
Okay.
like sashimi, slices them perfectly,
All right,
dices
chef.
them up, right?
All right, chef.
Yeah.
All right, chef.
On a plate, right? She'll dice it and make it all have the water, eggs, fruits.
Like omakase for a bird.
Yeah, like multi-grain breads. I mean, she's. It's basically the Four Seasons for this
Like
crow.
Renee Redzepi,
He may
yeah.
never fucking leave.
No, I'm going to defend myself again and say that I am thinking about it from an injury perspective. He's going to need protein to heal his broken leg.
Pragmatic.
And I don't overfeed, by the way. I feed at a certain time, and I hope that it's just enough to last him through that day. Because if you overfeed, then he'll never leave.
I believe fear. If the crow felt fear and urgency to get out of there, right, he'll leave sooner.
He's been trying.
So if we tapped on, right, if I held the cat, tapped on the fucking, no, don't give him food or water, tapped on the thing, and I'll go, 2 days. I looked at, the crow looks at me, I go, you have 2 days before
The cat.
the cat. The crow would start doing exercises
was
to
working
get his
out.
shit, working out to get his shit ready to go.
Physical therapy. Yeah.
But we're not doing that, are we? No. We're like, I built a bed. I took a skateboard T-shirt. I built a little bed and made it a little house. And we have all these things. That motherfucker ain't leaving for shit.
Well, here's the thing I did find out about crows. So I spent all day. That's why I had to cancel our meetings yesterday, and we canceled everything yesterday because we were
about
dealing with a
geothermal.
crow. It was a day dedicated to Leonard. We named her or he
Who
Leonard.
names the crow?
It's Leonard.
Why Leonard?
You
Leonard
only
Nimoy?
name something if you're gonna see it again.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Look, listen for a second. So I've been reading a lot
Like,
about.
Bobby, shut up.
Okay. Listen to this madness.
Khalyla, you have the floor.
Listen to the madness.
Well, for starters, I bought books on crows and magpies and the corvid family because now I'm like super intrigued, right? And I found out that they're actually considered one of the most intelligent, not birds, but one of the most intelligent animals in existence. They pass the mirror test, so they know who they are. Not a lot. Only dolphins, apes, and a few other animals pass the mirror test, and their brain to body ratio is similar to that of apes and humans. And so they know who we are by now. They know they're a very tight knit family. They're very, very bright creatures. So I was thinking, like, wow, like, isn't it weird how, because they're familiar birds, anything that's familiar to us seems ordinary, but we've been living amongst geniuses this whole time, just flying around. And so now we have Leonard, our genius friend, and I hope that he doesn't become a flightless pet we have on our balcony. That would be weird. But I do think that we have now built a rapport with Leonard, and I hope that he knows that we're not out to hurt him.
She's
Here's why I
acting
know-
like she's acting like it's Matt Damon from Good Will Hunting out there.
Maybe they are.
Dude, like,
Matt
there's
Damon
a
the birds.
chalkboard.
You
and,
never know.
But here's the thing. Here's why I believe what you're saying. Also, because you read 500 books about it, is Game of Thrones. When they want to send a letter, they don't
They
send a
send
horse.
a raven.
They don't send a wolf. They send a raven.
They send a raven, and it's the corvid family.
Yeah, it's a fucking fantasy, you fuckhole.
What do
You
you
can
mean?
send messages with birds.
Yeah,
Babe, it's not a fantasy,
Don't bring up
wait.
Game of Thrones. There's also dragons that they fight. Do we do that?
But do the do
Yeah,
the
you
dragons
fucking-
send messages? No, the
on.
raven does.
White Walker. Oh, we have those.
If
we have White Walkers.
If we
have one
had-
on the screen right now. Let me say something. Let me finish. Okay. I thought you were gonna bring up what I said about the squids last night. It was so embarrassing.
Can you
What
please
about
bring
the
it up?
squids?
About the mirror testing.
You bring it up, Bobby.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you bring it up, you
So-
own it. If you bring it up, you own it. You can bring it up.
shit.
So
bring it up.
yesterday we were having dinner with Jules, him and I. We were talking about the mirror test and animals that pass the mirror test.
And she's saying
And
crows
I was like, I think
pass.
that crows and I think that octopus are very intelligent. They are very self-aware and whatnot. And he goes, that's crazy. He's like, how do they test that? Does a scientist just dive under the ocean and put a mirror in front of an octopus? Like, sincerely, this is the question he asked.
I was like, what do they do? All right, let's time. Grab the mirror. And they go all the way to the bottom of the ocean. Right? And they just try to find a squid and they do that. But then I thought that was dumb because maybe they just do it at the SeaWorld.
And then me and Jules were like laughing so hard, like, and he could not realize why his question sounded absurd until it finally hit like 10 minutes later. He was like, oh yeah, they could just do it in aquariums, couldn't they?
Yeah. I literally thought that they did that. It didn't make any sense to me. And how does like squids even know that that's they're looking? How do they find that out?
Wait,
How do we
not-
know that they know?
How do they know? How do we know that
Look,
they look
if-
in the mirror and go, oh, I look good today?
Look,
You know what I mean?
the
My eyebrows are beautiful.
My
I
ink
had
is on point.
a professor named Dr. Gago.
Love him.
Love
His
him.
name was Dr. Gago. I know Gago in the Philippines means crazy, but
He was also in the Addams Family. What the fuck kind of last name is that?
he was so smart. But
You can hear Jules. Jules, thanks for laughing. Appreciate it. Yeah.
he was my marine biology professor, and then he would take students to Bahia de Los Angeles here in Mexico, and they would study the Humboldt squid. And the Humboldt squid is these massive squid with really complex eyes.
Yeah.
And they just like when they were either not being chased, but when they hunt, they breach out of the water. And they've been shown to be one of the most intelligent and complex animals and apex predators now, apparently. Like comparable to like a fucking shark. Maybe even like smarter. And so, yeah, they've been able to study that. So that's why I don't eat squid and octopus anymore.
Yeah, we don't.
Because I feel like their family's going to remember my face.
Oh my God, calamari though.
And it's also, you know, she influences me in many ways. She does. And so now, usually I'm always the calamari. That's the first time we eat.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have it, get it.
Sir, this is a hamburger
Yeah,
joint.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is Hamburger Hamlet.
Hamburger Hamlet.
That's my pet peeve. My pet peeve is if like I'm out with like a friend and I can usually tell if I want to continue a friendship or not with them based on one thing. Like if we go to a place specifically known for, let's say, calamari, but they order like a fucking root beer float
Yeah.
and like don't try what the restaurant is known for.
That
It
pissed you
reminds me, I brought a girlfriend to Mama's Fish House
In Maui?
in Maui.
So
And
good.
we were sitting there and she goes, I don't want fish.
off. Okay.
And my eyeballs almost popping out of my skull. Like cartoony. You know what I mean? Like I was enraged. I
Wait.
hate it.
What did she order? Chicken?
She didn't eat it all.
All right.
I think she had a salad. I'll just have a salad. What's
Oh wait, if she's a vegetarian,
No,
that's
she
one
wasn't.
thing.
She's not
Oh.
a vegetarian.
You're in
She
Hawaii,
wanted to
lady.
spite me. Because I was like, we have to go here all week long. We have to go here. And then we get there. It's like, I just want a salad. It's my biggest pet peeve. You know, try it. I'm the first, if they say, you know, hey, monkey balls is the best here. Monkey balls? I'll try it one time. I'll break into this fucking testicle shell and have the testicle ooze seep into my mouth.
A testicle
Imagine
shell?
the goo in a monkey ball. You crack into it and it squirts into your mouth. Oh, gross.
I don't think that's how
Is there
balls
goo?
work. No, there's no goo. It's a fucking testicle.
I've never had it
Do you
before.
think you
I
have
just
goo
imagine
inside
it.
your testicles? You have goo inside your testicles?
Well, when I sometimes play with it, goo comes out.
That's blood.
Or-
Sir, see a doctor.
there you go. I also want to talk about this.
Wait, before we continue.
Oh, what are we gonna do with the black crows?
No, if you or any listeners are bird aficionados or ornithologists, will you please help me out? Because I don't want a flightless bird as a pet. I want to do enough to help it heal, but not get it dependent on me. So, like, any tips, I appreciate.
Can you touch
Yeah,
a bird or no?
Huh?
Are you allowed to touch a bird, or is it like?
No. Crows only like they're very social distancing type of birds. Like they know who you are, but they'll keep their distance always. They're not like magpies. Magpies are really like cuddly and stuff.
Yeah.
But there could be an exception, right? What if this black crow is just generally just super like nice?
I don't want to find out. I also don't want. I want to respect its wildness. I don't want to make friends with it. I just want to watch it heal and then fly away.
But eventually, what happens? Let's say let me just throw this scenario out there that
God.
a month goes by and he's just hanging out. You know how birds hang. They're hanging out, right, just hanging out, right. And he's like, you know what I mean, eating all the sashimi, whatever we give him, right. Bring me more, baby. You know what I mean? He's like that guy, right?
Yeah.
I will pick it by the neck and throw it off the fucking balcony.
No, you won't.
I won't do that, but that's extreme. That was extreme. That was
kidding,
crazy.
Peter.
That's
We're
crazy.
kidding,
That was crazy what I just said.
What the fuck?
No, that was crazy time.
That was a
just
turn off. My
angered her.
vagina dried so much. I may never have sex with you again.
No, I would love it. I would love it. But
I just imagine the crow with like little tiny bird floaties and like a little tiny bird bath just made just for it, just living the Hollywood life.
and there's the comedy.
The bird bath.
There's the comedy from George right there.
But Khalyla wants a bird bath.
Let that sink in.
I thought it was cute.
They're all
George.
laughing at home. They're all laughing at home.
Just let it sink in.
Gilbert had to remove himself off screen.
Just what he said. What did he say, Gilbert? Bird bath?
Wait, well, first it was the decibel volume.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. A little bird floaties. Yeah.
Just let it sink. Just let it sink in, man.
I like it.
Let's have a moment of silence.
Sipping a Mai Tai.
Let's have a moment of silence
Jesus.
for that joke. I'm kidding. That
Like
was
at the
great.
beginning
I
of
love
Ferris
it, George.
Bueller's Day
Keep
Off.
throwing it out there, baby. I love you. It's all about risk.
You got a bat.
It's all about risk versus reward, baby.
I don't like when you do that.
I know. I love it. Because
The
George
next door
knows I
crow
love him.
stepmoms comes
George-
over in a little bikini.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's
Oh,
not
he's
done.
doubling down.
He's doubling down, guys. He's doubling down.
Doubling down.
He said
I love
crow in a
it.
bikini.
I love your own yes and.
Yeah. Try to do one more, George.
Come on, George.
Oh, shit.
Oh, come on.
no, I failed myself.
Oh, man. Why are we doing this thing?
I don't care. We're not gonna continue until you
You
come
could
up
have
with one
said,
more.
George, umbrella.
No. Don't use umbrella. Go ahead.
Mai Tai next door. What? There's nothing else that can heighten this.
Oh, okay.
There is
All right.
No.
Anyway,
and Bobby's out there with a little cabana umbrella holding it over the little Leonard the Crow.
Come on, margarita mix.
I'm okay
with
with
a little
imagery.
fan.
Yeah.
And keeping him cool. Maybe spritzing him off with like one of those little fans with little spritzer waters.
Okay, very descriptive.
just
a little
let that
waiter
sink in, guys.
towel.
Just let it sink in. Anyway,
I don't think it's sunk in. I don't know.
I
if it's
love it. I love you, George. I love it. So, what do we do though? So a month goes by. What do we do?
What do you mean? If
Do we
no,
call
no,
a
I don't.
service?
For starters, I'm not waiting a month. I'm already in contact with a wildlife rescue. If I have to somehow capture him, get his legs splinted and rehabilitated, that's what I'll do. But my point in like seeing if he'll get better on his own is because I don't want to separate him from his family. His family is circling above, like they.
Oh yeah,
see
they
him.
do come. They do come.
They come by.
They come by and they
check on him.
They check on him and they sit down and they'll eat some of the food that's not that for them. That's fine.
No, they don't.
I'll let it slide. But it's not for you, John. All right, it's for fucking Leonard, the one that we're harboring or adopted. You know. But so eventually, they come by and they go, all right, off you go, Leonard. I mean, because my whole balcony is white shit now.
I know, but Jules and I are cleaning it today.
Okay.
We have to clean it every day, the white poo, because
white poo.
it's not good.
And why is it white? Have you ever thought about that?
My shit's not white. Khalyla,
No, but
expert?
we just fed
My
it.
shit's white,
We
not
fe-
expert.
But I wonder why it's always so white. They eat nuts and shit that we eat.
Yeah, but isn't like, have you ever heard of what guano is?
Yeah.
What-
well,
what
Yeah,
is it?
one of some of the
bats
richest people on this planet are very rich
are
because of
herders.
guano.
Yeah, herders.
Because of certain minerals that are in guano that like you can extract. You can mine
interesting.
certain things from bird shit.
Interesting.
All right,
It's like
here's the answer.
gold.
Here's the answer. The answer lies in the fact that birds, unlike mammals, don't produce urine. Instead, they excrete nitrogenous waste in the form of uric acid. Which
But why
emerges
is
as
uric
white
acid
paste.
white?
Instead,
I
it
don't
emerges
know.
as white paste.
Why is shit brown?
Oh, white paste?
We'll never know the answer.
Because we have uric acid and we don't.
So it's uric acid.
Yellow
All right,
plus
anyway.
brown
Hang on,
doesn't
Gil,
make
what
white.
is in guano that is valuable?
Let me look that up. I've never. No
And is
idea.
it the Sultan of Brunei that got rich over guano?
I don't have that answer. Sorry.
All right, so
Just put Sultan of Brunei guano.
So we'll do a fucking crow update every week.
Fertilizer.
Hang
We'll
on.
do a fucking crow update every week. I'm done talking about Leonard. Okay? Fuck Leonard. He's the luckiest bird on the earth. He landed on the right balcony. Let's just say that.
Oh, I like that.
He landed, yeah. And he's a very lucky bird.
Hey guys, we're gonna take a quick break to share one of our sponsors that we use frequently.
Better help. That's all we do for that jingle because of the fact that we want to take it down to a serious level, my friends. BetterHelp has helped. We have a little Cambodian girl living with us.
Oh, that's so
Her
kind.
name was Jules, and she's been using BetterHelp.
Me
She
too.
has a therapist, and so has Khalyla, my other Cambodian buddy here. And it's really helped the family heal. You know, therapy for me has changed my life. And BetterHelp is a great service because you can start communicating with somebody under 24 hours. It's not a crisis line, guys. You know, it's not one of those weird crisis lines. It's a professional counseling done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's counselor network, which may not be locally available in many areas.
And then you take a questionnaire in the beginning so they're able to assess your needs and match you with who they think is the most perfect licensed professional.
It is
for
committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy, and it's free to change counselors if you need it.
And which is like the best thing, by the way, because it's always such an awkward thing when, you know, you see somebody and you're just not vibing with them and you want to go see somebody else. This makes that completely painless.
You have to try it.
And guilt-free.
And here's another great thing about it is that it's affordable.
It's really affordable.
It's way more more affordable than other traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. Tell them more, Gil.
BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Visit their website and read their testimonials that are posted daily. Visit betterhelp.com/belly. That's better, H-E-L-P, and join over 500,000 people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. Special offer for TigerBelly listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/belly. Enjoy the rest of the show.
I feel like that was a strategic landing, too.
Yeah,
Like,
she was telling me, this is what she was telling me, and I agree with her. I nod my head. I go, okay, if that doesn't make any sense, but okay. What Khalyla thinks is Leonard was, you know, his wing was busted up. His leg was all fucked up. He's like, oh, shit, I can't fly anymore. I have to land. I have to let this shit heal. But he flew around our houses and went, I'm going to land on that one because I like those people.
What do you think?
I've never fucked with the crows. They don't know about my behavior, baby.
They watch you all day. They know exactly who you are.
They see me out there smoking.
Yep, they know exactly who you are. And they said he was able to make a, what do you call it, a calculated risk and say, I think those people's balcony is high enough so I don't get got by nighttime predators or coyotes.
Oh.
Their animals are never out there on the balcony because they're always in the backyard. And I know that it's visible to them. I'll be visible to them so they'll know to feed me.
Mm-hmm.
That's how smart I think crows are. I might be wrong. Also, I'm doing a little, I'm thinking too deeply about this. I'm like, isn't it a coincidence that it's part of the corvid family? It's one letter away from COVID. During a pandemic, and then
Don't do an no.
No.
Don't do an in
She's
that
on
fucking
Gil.
moment.
She's
She's
on-
onto something. She's onto something. Yep.
and then
was-
you go, girl.
That's
you go,
a bullshit
girl.
dude.
Thanks,
No, I
thanks,
believe
Gil.
her.
And then And then Bobby saw the crow, and then he as the crow was eating his blueberries and apples that we had just fed it, he played the Beatles song Blackbird, and then we started crying.
There was a moment that I had, and I just started crying.
And part of the moment was these
Call me
birds.
weak.
What we were thinking was these birds that are so absolutely fucking brilliant, we've seen as, you know, bringers of bad news because, you know, we've always like tied them in with a feeling of like with an ominous feeling, right? When really it just is a brilliant fucking bird. And so we played that song, we cried for no fucking reason, and then he built Architectural Digest birdhouse.
It's a pretty good birdhouse.
So maybe we're looking into it too deeply of all the Corvid and all of that stuff. But
I like to tell you about my future, if I may.
what's your future about?
So I'm going to let people know that when is Bobby Lee going to go out and do the road? And I have made a decision. I am going to start going on the road in September.
Nice.
And I'm tired of fucking you pieces of good people out there.
Hold on, you said you pieces of shit good people out there.
Did you see I shifted?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
pieces
very
of good
Pieces
people.
of fucking good people
Good people out there.
All
You have
right.
an accent too.
Are saying, you know, I've read some comments. Bobby Lee's afraid. He let the coronavirus, you know, instill fear in him because he won't go out. You know, there's a lot of things that I have a lot of character defects. I really do. Khalyla knows about them.
Do you?
It's in her face.
I
every day.
accept them.
It's
She
in
accepts
her
them.
face.
I receive it. I accept it. I can. I will.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And I
frailties
will.
I have, but I have performed in front of 20,000 people before and gotten booed off stage, and then chose to do the same show the next night. All right, if you call that fear, you can call that fear, but I do have fears in my life. But I've always gone out and I've tried to live my life to the best of my ability and to walk through very scary situations. And I've done that in my life. I know that for a fact. I was petrified when I was 28 years old, 29 years old, when I was asked to do Jay Leno. I did stand up on Jay Leno.
What did you wear? And how
I
did
wore
you?
brown Dickies.
Who chose it?
I did. I had no money. So I used to wear brown Dickies, skate shoes, and a black thermal shirt. Right? So I kind of look like a...
Who went with you that day?
My brother Steve, my manager, and my agent, who are still my manager and agents. And I remember being behind the curtain, and I remember Jay saying beforehand, he goes, well, don't worry about it. Only 16 million people are going to watch. And I go, oh, yeah? Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. And I remember being behind that curtain and hearing Jay go, so this next comic come to the stage.
Oh, not bad.
It's his first national television appearance. He performs it though. He's a regular at the Comedy Store here in Hollywood, California. Bobby Lee. And I remember walking, so scared. You don't know what that's like, people. It's all the moisture from your mouth is gone.
Did they give you only one shot?
You get one shot.
There's no.
There's no do-over.
Really?
There's no do-over. You do what you do.
I thought it was edited.
Yeah, I thought that too. I
Oh,
was like,
really?
okay,
Have
let's
you
start
done it, fuckface?
Yeah, I did Craig Ferguson. I did okay.
Oh, you did, dude, Craig?
No, I didn't. I missed that guy.
I did too. So, there's no do-over, and your mouth is dry, and you go out there, and you see, the first thing you see is the lights, right? Then the next thing you see is the audience. And then the third thing you see, which is the most petrifying, is the cameras. Because you have like 4 or 5 cameras, And then you're highly aware that Jay Leno and I think it was Christina Ricci was the guest before me. So they're sitting there just, And I remember going to the mic, holding the mic, going, uh-oh. That's not a good thought. But that's the first thing that entered my mind. Uh-oh. And then just having this overwhelming feeling of adrenaline and going, you're doing, your life depends on this. This is, in everyone, people's lives, you have moments where you have to deliver. You have moments where you know instinctually that you have to hit the ball because you get one chance. And at that time, I had no money. I had no future. I barely was with the agency that I was with. I had no money, and I had to do it. All right, so if you're saying that Bobby Lee is living in fear, go fuck yourself. Sorry for saying it like that way. And you're good. You guys are pieces of good human beings.
I want to take a survey.
But come out to the shows.
Come out to the show. But that's not the point. The reason why I don't go out and stuff isn't necessarily will I beat the virus or whatnot. Is I'm just trying to be mindful about other people. Because I know this. If my mom got it, she's dead. My mom's 80 years old. You know, she's health is moderately good for her age, but she's an old lady. She could die.
She's 80?
Yeah.
Damn, she looks young.
Thank you. My point is that it's not for me. It's for, I don't want, my fans to go out to my shows early on who have a physical condition that I'm not aware of, and they get the COVID at my show. So I'm just trying to be mindful about that kind of stuff. But so I've made a decision. I'm going to go in September because I'm not afraid. I need to go out there. I want to see everybody.
Yeah.
And
now my survey has nothing to do with what you just said. It has something to do with the one you talked about later. Now I don't want to take my survey.
What's the survey?
do the survey.
Survey with Khalyla.
Survey.
When you're speaking to someone, or let's say you're in a position where you're speaking publicly or to a friend or to a group of people, and then you have a frog in your throat, like a little bubble, and your voice kind of
Happens
goes
to me all the time.
like this,
Yeah.
right? Do you stop, regroup, make attention to the fact that you have a frog in your throat, giggle about it, move on, or do you try to work through the frog in your throat? Or if it's you, or if you're listening to someone with a frog in your throat, do you laugh and say, "Hey, like punch that frog out of your throat"?
Yep, I call it out.
Or do you call it out, or do you just hope that they get through it?
I try to power through it as
Power
myself,
through the frog.
I try to power through it as myself, knowing I have it. Then I call it out if I hear it. I'm like, oh,
Hang
wait, there's
on.
a frog in your throat.
Are you able to work through it, Gil?
No, someone then calls me out, then I call and then talk.
Yeah.
You've done it
Then
to
you
me
go
twice.
cry
actually,
in a
You've done it to
corner.
me twice, Khalyla, in my life.
Did I ever tell you about this story about the guy that I helped get on a stand-up television show and he bombed?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
I've said it on this podcast?
Yes, I remember it, but you can tell it again.
Television show. Okay, no.
Did I ever say this, George?
I remember it.
I don't remember.
He doesn't also remember what your elementary school was, so move on.
Yeah,
babe.
also, I'm not going to say names because I think it's mean. So I'm not going to say names. And I'll make it quick. I was asked to do a television show to do stand-up. And I said, I'll only do it, because I had already done it before, I'll only do it if you put my friend on, who's also a stand-up. And they go, yeah, but, we don't know him. I go, yeah, no, but he's good. And at the time, I hung out with him a lot. So they go, all right. So the night of the show, I'm sitting there. I would tell you the story. I'm sitting there. So I had picked him up to go do the TV show. So we go to the place, and I go up, and I do okay. And then, so all the comics are in a room with a monitor watching the show, right? Because when you do a show like this, a stand-up show, they just film 6 shows in a night with the same audience sometimes. Sometimes they switch out the audience. Mm-hmm. So my friend is about to go up that I begged to get on the show. And I'm sitting there with a bunch of comics. They introduce my friend. He goes up to the spot mic. He opens his mouth, and nothing comes out. For 45 seconds. Ooh. He goes like this. He goes,
That would be me.
and he can't talk. And then eventually he starts getting. He's starting. At that point, it's too late. The audience half the audience has gone up to go to the bathroom.
He
He froze.
That's sad.
That would have been me.
But
Absolutely.
what I did was equally as mean. I left him there.
You did?
Yeah, I drove him there. So what he had to do, he had to wait till the end of the night, and he got a ride from Joey Diaz.
Oh, like you left him.
Hold on,
I picked him up to go to the show.
Because you wanted to dissociate
I
from
was
him.
so livid because he made me look like a fool.
Yeah, but he probably felt like a fool.
I know, and I apologized to him 1,000 times.
My God, you're cruel.
I am
babe.
cruel, but because you have to understand, like I'm sitting there behind the monitor, and I'm with the people that I go, you got to put my friend on,
The producers,
right?
yeah.
And so he opens his mouth, nothing comes out, and now you could hear in the green room people start going, oh no,
Aww.
right? And I'm sitting there blushing, and I'm now the people that I said yes to, I turned to them, and they're kind of looking at me like. And I have to admit I was a little angry, and so
I felt something similar like that. Remember I told you the story of how like my friend was shooting a sizzle reel for his this was before the Ultimate Fighter came out. He was doing a sizzle reel.
Oh, I've seen it.
A Battle
For-
Long Beach with Khalyla
for-
Kid.
Yeah, I saw it.
for Battle Long Beach,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
We're
he was
releasing
like,
that.
hey, I need, please God, no. We already did a little clip of it on Instagram not too long ago, remember?
Patreon gets the whole thing.
Oh God. And so, oh my God. So he was like, will you just say a few lines, help me out for like my sizzle reel? I was like, yeah, I can do it. But I went into sure of myself thinking that, yeah, of course I can like speak in front of a camera, but I'd never done it in my life.
Right.
And they had a whole production, which I wasn't aware. I thought it was just going to be him
Khalyla
like filming
hates
me in
lights.
front of an octagon.
She hates lights.
And so when I showed up to the place and then the lights came on and everything, Jessica was there. Do you know the number of times she had to dab the sweat on my upper lip? Because they kept saying, hey, wipe her face out because it was just a oil slick. And I was pale and I couldn't get the words out. And to a point where they were feeding me not line by line, word by word. And I was I was that person. I was your friend. But you know what? Jessica drove me home. She didn't leave me there.
So what you're saying is there's two types of Koreans.
There's two types of
Yeah.
Koreans.
Oh, if I was Bobby's friends, I would have just started walking home. I don't care.
Wait.
I would not have wanted to be in the car with Bobby after.
Oh, that would have been a
getting
nightmare.
that
Also driving with
opportunity.
you.
Oh shit!
After
What
that?
happened?
Hang on, babe.
You're still good. You're still good.
We're
Here,
good.
here.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
here.
What were you saying? Say what you just said.
I just said I would not want to. I would have started walking home if I was your friend. I would not have wanted to ride home with you. I would have just
You would have like
started off the stage, gone
destroyed.
out the door.
But
Walked the whole
but
way.
The story gets, and I believe that my move was the right move. Because I made the experience so terrible for him. The whole night was a nightmare. They wouldn't pay him either because he needed money too. They wouldn't pay him. At the end of the show, everyone gets invited on stage to wave to the audience. He wasn't invited onto the stage. And he had to wait there all night long. It was a terrible night for him. But then a couple of years later, I was just watching television. And I watched Premium Blend.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on it.
Wow.
And he's also had many specials now after that. But his Premium Blend was so powerful, I cried. It was like night and day. He especially when he went to the mic, I could see he just talked right away.
Confidence.
He's like, "What's up?" He just went in there and just started talking. And it was a lesson to learn. And I've had many of those experiences.
Wait,
but
hang
And
on.
that's
a
the story
second.
of Trevor Noah.
that's wow.
It still doesn't justify you leaving a friend there. Like you can't. You can't.
Like, let's not glaze over this.
Yeah, that's like, you know what it's like to be left behind or mistreated or being cruel towards. Like, you can't do this trial by fire with people. You hate walking into an audition room and the casting director be an absolute, bitch to you right up front. You like people who light candles, who give you the space to do your best, right? So you can't do trial by fire with people. Like, sometimes you can go back and say, oh, maybe that worked. Maybe that's the reason why he's so good right now. But it's not to say he would have been even better and gotten there faster if you had just shown a little bit of like love and empathy when he was shitting himself on TV. That's so mean. That's like cause for like breaking up my friendship with someone. If I bombed that hard on national TV and Jessica just bailed on me, like we wouldn't be friends today.
I fucked up. I'm sorry. I fucked up. But that was before. Also, I had lived a completely different life after that. What happened after that in my own personal life is that my career died. So
That does not laughing matter, Gilbert.
My career absolutely died for very many, many, many years, where I couldn't get anything, I couldn't get gigs. It was terrible. So maybe karma got me, and I've learned from that. Am I like that today? I am not. I'm a nice guy.
When Bobby and I in our first 2 years together, the stuff that we would get excited about that he could potentially be cast for, you guys would laugh at now. Remember that, babe? Remember those times?
No, it would be like a Nickelodeon show with the 15th lead on a Nickelodeon show. We'd be like,
and we'd be jumping on the bed like,
we got an audition! That's how bad it got. That's how bad it was.
Or there was this one sketch show with a no-name guy.
Oh my God.
And it was seriously super low budget, and Bobby went into audition, and then the whole time we were on our hands and knees that night please God, please let him get the part. Please let him get the part.
I didn't get the part.
Different now. Wow.
And I remember we have to look back at those times, and be like, yeah, you are doing so well.
Yeah, I mean, I would, one time I remember flying to New York and to audition for. They flew me to New York to audition for
Larry
Wilmore's show.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I remember going in there, and there was the cast of people that are on those shows now. Those types of people were auditioning. I remember doing it, just eating it, and then I remember it was raining in New York, waiting in the rain. And I remember, this is so, I can say it. So, Vince Vaughn doesn't like me. We all know this. I've already said it.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that.
How do you know how he feels today?
I don't know. I don't know how he feels
Probably
now.
loves you.
I don't know. But I remember at the time he didn't.
Yeah.
And I remember him and Kevin James were promoting a movie. And I was in the rain, right? Soaking rain. And Kevin James's manager is best friends with my manager.
Yeah.
So Jeff comes up to me, gives me a hug. He goes, we just got to go. And I remember Kevin and Vince, they don't even look at me. They just walk by. They get in this limo and they drive off. And I remember having to stand in that rain for another hour before someone picked me up.
Oh, and that's right. And your suitcase exploded.
Yeah, my suitcase exploded.
That's why we have the Rimawa, the green one now, because you had to buy that in New York.
Yeah, it was
exploded in the rain.
A terrible time.
And he had to walk to the audition with a plastic bag of his
oh my God, it was
overnight
a nightmare.
clothes.
So you live and you learn, but but it was some bad times there. I think what are we doing on?
We can get to
We're-
unhelpful
we have a lot.
advice.
Oh,
Go
never
ahead.
mind. Okay. Anyways.
Unhelpful advice with Bobby and Khalyla.
Hi, TigerBelly. I've been a big fan for a couple months now, and I love listening to your podcast to inspire and make me laugh. Thank you all. I'm at the end of the year of high school, about to go to university. I'm really anxious about finding friends because I didn't have any meaningful relationships in high school. And even when I thought I did, they ended up abandoning me. So for the last year, I've ate lunch in bathroom stalls by myself, and sometimes I don't even eat. I've always tried to be truthful. Maybe I was too outspoken about weird things, and I don't know if I should try to change that about myself to make myself more acceptable as a friend. I told them about my dreams and things I'm working towards in the future, and it put pressure on me that they abandoned me to work harder. They abandoned me to work harder and to really go for it. Now I have trust issues with friends, and I feel like I should be alone in the process of following my dreams because it makes me more hungry to succeed at the end of the time. It makes me hungrier to succeed, but at the same time, I feel lonely and sad. How should I go about university? Should I chase my dreams in the dark until I succeed? Josh, I'm 17.
You first.
In my high school, Poway High School, we had this thing called the senior wall. Mm-hmm. So basically, it was this kind of in the middle of our campus was this big brick wall, but there was steps to it. So seniors would sit there and eat lunch, and you would have to walk by them, right? So it was basically the epicenter of that whole quad in the middle of the campus was where all the kids sat, right?
Upperclassmen, cool.
But you
kids.
could go off on these little nooks and crannies, is where all the heshers, and I went to the back of the school, right? And I would eat my lunch, with one person or by myself. I didn't feel uncomfortable at the senior wall. I just preferred it. there was moments back then when I was young where I was more into philosophical ideas, what's life all about, and also being more introspective and kind of gravitating toward more characters like Catcher in the Rye, you know what I mean, or Holden Caulfield, or reading books like Notes from the Underground, or just I was just very existential about how I viewed life and how I viewed the meaningless of life and being alone. And also, I expressed that, I was kind of an incel, like I couldn't get girls. And so, but...
Did that ever make you feel like you wanted to hate girls?
No.
Then you're not an incel. You were never an incel. Don't call yourself that.
I was.
You were not.
Because
Just
I wanted
because
to
you
fuck
can't.
and no one wanted to fuck me.
Yeah, but
didn't hate
incel,
girls.
being an incel is a completely different thing than not getting laid.
I thought incel was a celibate, unintentional...
No, it's a group of people who are obviously like celibate, but who have a
Deep
burning
resentment towards
rage
women.
and resentment towards women.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean,
You did. Okay.
I always found it baffling that, like, I remember back then thinking, abused wives who stay in those. I didn't get all that stuff, right? I thought, I know, like, I remember having like jocks, girlfriends, like friends of mine, and I would listen to them talk and go, yeah, I mean, all I care about is I want a partner who's extremely funny, you're right, and then you're like, but you're dating Tom. That's the most unfunniest guy, you know what I mean?
Tom DeLonge, though, babe. Who
Not
went to
Tom
Poway
DeLonge, but
High
some
School.
other Tom. Right?
You
Jimmy.
know?
You're dating
UFO
Jimmy.
Tom.
The guy that thinks that, like, lighting his farts on fire is funny.
It's funny.
It is funny, I know.
It is very funny.
But, like,
That
I was
example.
like, even back then, I was way funnier than them.
I see the point. Yeah.
Right? And it's like, no. And I always looked at that, but then, I accepted my situation. And also, I look back in those times as happy times for some reason. I miss some of that. I miss some of that struggle and some of that me against the world kind of thing. So, dude, I just think that, youth and young age, some kids have a lot of confidence, but a lot of kids, they get their shine on in their 20s. And some kids get their shine on in their 30s.
Or even in their 40s.
Or in their 40s. Like, I think I got my shine on in my 40s.
I agree.
So did George, right?
George.
So my point is that it'll happen. And when it happens, it feels great. But also you'll look back in your life and go, God, I missed some of those times.
I'd like to add something, though. It sounds as if that at times you're intentionally trying to avoid people or trying to avoid making friends. I don't think you should close those doors. If you just don't naturally have a group of people to hang out with, that's fine. But if you're intentionally trying to kind of isolate yourself from people, I don't think that's healthy either. You should allow people to surprise you. You should keep those doors open, because at the end of the day, humans are kind of flock birds. And we do need relationships with people to ultimately learn more about ourselves. Like there's only so much introspection and things we can learn about ourselves when we're alone. We have to kind of, bounce that around people and see how that works in the world to learn who we really are, how we treat people, how we like being treated, things like that, And but Bobby is right. Maybe you'll get your shine on in your 20s, maybe in your 40s, and that's okay, You just didn't peak early. That's a great thing. You don't want to, and if you peaked early, that's okay too.
Look at George. Just look at George, and then you'll feel better about yourself.
George and I did yoga yesterday, and Gilbert was off playing Warzone with you. First he said, he's like, I'm doing my own workout, guys. And then I realized, I was like, you screaming Gilbert's name. And I was like, he's not doing his own workout. He's doing Warzone with Bobby.
Actually, I also did get a workout in, and haven't made any growth.
Yeah, I worked out last night too. I've been thinking about Warzone just real quick. I want to end with it. Why I like it. It is a time for me to bond with my brother Steve. It is a time, Gilbert and I feel like have grown closer because of the game. I don't really talk to him ever, but now, I talk. We talk way more now.
But our moments are before the camera when we do talk.
I know, but we don't talk as much as we do now.
True.
There's quirks about you that I learned from the game, and hearing things and how you. I didn't know much about you until the game.
Yeah.
I think.
Basically, put it this way is what he said. This is what he said. He's like,
That
I don't know
Khalyla
why. I
invested
just.
in my. Go ahead.
He's like, I just respect Gilbert more now.
From winning a game.
Yeah.
Not all the good deeds you've done for us all throughout this year's guild.
I respect you now.
Thank you, man. I appreciate now. You know.
I respect your gameplay. I respect your leadership. I expect your bravery and your courage.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, you, Mr.
Yeah.
RPG. Thank you, Mr.
No,
RPG.
I'm learning to do other things as well. So let's let's hope that a new role playing game comes out so I can fucking quit that dumb fucking game.
Hey, what's a Hesher again?
Like a stoner.
Hesher? I've never heard that.
Anyway,
Like Sean Penn in Fast Times?
I love that guy.
But
I
was
love
that a
part.
Hesher?
Yes. Anyway, thanks for listening to another episode of TigerBelly. We love you guys so much, and we really do. And this is my family, and I love connecting with you guys. And hopefully, in the near future, when I go on the road, we can meet, and we can be around
Embrace.
each other. Embrace, mindfully.
Yeah.
But
And
God
be
bless
friends
you.
again.
Take care, and good night.
Shukuluk mo na iye, shukuluki mo